Hi, everyone. Welcome to another great conversation. Today we have Charlotte Brown and Jackie. Welcome. Thank you so much for being with me today. And please, let's start with you, Charlotte. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey Gladys, thanks so much for having us on today. My name is Charlotte Brown. I'm the founder of One Woman, co-founder of 100 Most Powerful Women. And yeah, we bring women together for the greater good of all women in this world. And we definitely empower women to be financially independent and to achieve financial freedom. And of course, it was just over a year ago that I met you in wonderful Miami and how different the world was. And I know today we're going to be talking about, how the pandemic has maybe changed the way, we're looking at business, how we're looking at money. So we're excited to be here.
Thank you. Jackie, welcome.
Thank you, Gladys. I am Jackie Somerville, and I'm really happy to be here too. Thanks for having us. I am the co-founder with Charlotte of 100 Most Powerful Women, very proudly so. And we do empower women to look like a million, feel like a million, impact millions, and make millions of dollars, because we know that when great women make a great deal of money, they do a lot of great things in the world. So we are on fire and driven and excited about that. I'm also a best-selling author, and I've been coaching women on subjects from anything from sex to success since about 2014. So that's part of why I joined up with Charlotte and started coaching women all about money and getting women to create amazingly successful businesses around the world so that they can impact all the people that they desire to impact and live the life that they want to live too. So that's just a little about me, Gladys.
I think there's so many synergies that we can talk about because you guys are impacting women while the vision of the power of the heels is educating girls or the next generation to be financially independent. So I think that what you guys are doing, what I'm doing with the organization is definitely going to impact the whole world. Let me start with One Woman. Charlotte, can you tell us a little bit about One Woman? Because when I met you, you weren't, it was just one woman.
Yeah, absolutely. So One Woman started in 2015 after a trip I was in Ecuador working with women in the Amazon rainforest, building a women's empowerment center. And really, these two programs go hand in hand in terms of One Woman and 100 Most Powerful Women, because I've learned that nothing empowers a woman more than financial independence. That when you invest in a woman, when you give women the tools to be able to create financial independence, that they can take care of themselves, that they can take care of their families, that they can impact others, and that they can live the life of their dreams, whatever that looks like for every woman in this world. So One Woman now connects about 500,000 women globally. We do work right around the world. And of course, we're known for our Fearless Women Summits. And that's what I was in Miami in 2019 for, was a Fearless Women Summit, where we give women a platform to be able to share their fearless stories. We know that when a woman shares her fearless story, that she empowers another woman to do the same. And that it gives women that empowerment to be able to live the life of their dreams, to be able to build that business, or to go after whatever it is that they dream of. It's how I met Jackie Somerville. Jackie spoke in 2018 at our Montreal event. And so it's the great way to be able to network, to be able to connect women from right around the world. We've done events throughout the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom, Ireland, and of course, we empower women also in developing countries throughout Africa, Asia, and South America. So One Woman is a large organization, but really the principle is the same, is really that when you empower a woman to live the life of her dreams, to be able to create that financial independence, that we really will, as women, change the world.
Definitely, you got it. How has things changed, or how have you been able to empower women during the pandemic?
Yeah, so as you know, we kicked off in January 2019 in Miami, all full force, and everything was hunky-dory. We could all meet in person, you know, a couple hundred women at an event, hugs and all that kind of great stuff. And then in March, everything changed. I was on my way to Philadelphia, and when I landed, I didn't recognize the world. It's like it had shut down. You know, the pandemic was in full swing, and I had to cancel that event. But what I realized as I finally got home before the border closed, because of course I live in Canada, was that my job was to empower women in this world, and that there was ways and means of doing that beyond just meeting in person. We have amazing tools like Zoom, how we're communicating today. And so we brought our Fearless Women's Summits online. They're bigger than ever before. We now reach women in places that we had never even been before. But the best part of that was the fact that I joined forces with Jackie to be able to coach women. I've been asked to coach women over the past 5 years, but just never had the time with travel scheduling and going around the world. There was just never the time. And so Jackie and I joined forces to be able to work with 100 women this year, to be able to build massively successful businesses. As she said, you know, our whole philosophy is look like a million, feel like a million, impact millions, and make millions of dollars. And somewhere along the lines, well, money got a bad rap, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, you know, the pandemic definitely evolved things. We definitely pivoted things, but that we became even a bigger force to be reckoned with than ever before. And so it's all in our perspective as to how we view things, and that how we decide to evolve and change to be able to embrace what's happening in the world. And that even in a pandemic, that you can reach the millions of people that you want to reach doing the work that you love in this world.
So Jackie, let me ask you something. Everything that we've said, everything that we want to convey regarding financial education, because you educate one woman and you empower one woman to have a business, and you not only educate her, but you educate a whole village. And we all know it.
Yeah.
But there's still women out there that don't even know what a checking account is. There's still women out there that still depend on someone for their finance. So how can we change their mindset
Yeah,
to become
brilliant.
that independent?
Yeah, amazing question. I think the first thing, sorry, it's 8 a.m. Here in Los Angeles, and the morning sun is hitting the mirror, the window, and I'm blinded by the light for a moment.
We have a ray of sunshine over you.
Yeah, you know, it's such an important thing. And I think the first thing is that women, they don't realize that they can actually dream and that they can actually have what they desire. So I think so many people grow up thinking that their lot in life is already predetermined by how they grow up, by where they grow up. And I think the biggest thing is to plant that seed of, no, that doesn't predetermine anything. If you could just allow yourself to dream a bigger dream, because there's no incentive to get a checking account, to learn about money, if you don't ever think that you're going to have money or have control over your money or anything like that. So the first thing I think starts with really helping people to realize that they can dream, and that there is a way to have your dreams come true, that money is not restricted to just a select few, to a lucky few, that it's actually available to anybody who chooses it. And so to the question of mindset, it really is first and foremost opening up that mind and that heart to believing that they can have whatever they desire if they know how to do it. And the second thing then is, how do we change from that poverty, that lack mindset, that my life is predetermined and that I can't get what I want? How do we change that? Once we've planted the seed that it's possible, the next thing is through changing the words we use, the story we're telling ourselves. The biggest thing is realizing everything is neutral. It's the story we give it that gives it meaning. And when we look at everything, including our financial situation that way, we are immediately empowered, because I can choose a new story about what I'm telling myself about my current situation. And just by doing that, I'm starting to shift. Things start to move in our favor. We start to get more of a positive attitude. Therefore, we take more action, and everything starts to snowball in the right direction. So it's choosing our words. It's carefully being aware of what we're thinking. Oh, am I thinking, oh, I can't afford that? That's not the right word or the right thought. Oh, one day I'll be able to afford whatever I desire would be a better step to take, a better thought to have in the right direction. So choosing our words, choosing our thoughts, changing the story we are telling ourselves about our life and our financial future. There's so many amazing tools. We could go on and on, but I would encourage your listeners to start there. What story are you telling yourself about your financial situation? You can change that in an instant. And in changing that story, you're starting to change what you're putting out there in the universe. And the law of attraction is a very real thing. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject.
When you're talking about words, I have two very simple words of changing the whole attitude. You change just a word instead of if, because a lot of people say, if I do this, no, just replace it for when.
Absolutely.
When
huge.
I get to this place, or when I will be able to do this, not if.
Absolutely.
So you're totally right. Let me ask either one of you, whoever wants to ask. I know that there's a lot of cultural upbringing that has to do with financial empowerment. There are women that have been raised in a very close-minded, controlled by men. And one of the ways that men control them is financially. And this is a huge problem maybe not in the US, maybe not in Canada, but I know that in the Middle East, in Latin America, it's very common that men control their women. And the other part is that women are brought to believe that they can be independent or they can be happy if they just marry a rich guy. But then we have the problem that they cannot get divorced because they don't have any money. But it's very cultural.
Jackie, I think you should tell maybe your story about your dreams are so big, you're going to have to marry a rich man.
Yeah, happy to. Yes, you're so right, Gladys. It's so true. And women are, and even it's not just those countries that you mentioned, the cultural stuff, but it's very much still a part of our narrative in the sort of Western world, as it were, is this whole thing that we still raise girls to aspire to getting married above all else. And women still dream about their daughters walking down the aisle. And it's still very much a big thing, which is very interesting. I know it's changing, but it's still very much there. And so, as a love and sex coach, as well as a success coach, it's so interesting to me. For me, love and need are two very different things. And in an ideal world, we would love a man. We wouldn't need a man. We're with him because we want to be with him. We're not with him because we need him. Now we've got power. Now we've got power of our own destiny. And if only that little word that you said too, if girls were raised with, my darling, if you choose to get married one day, if you choose to have children, rather than when you get married and when you have children, oh my gosh, now we're going to start to change the world in a big way. And so, yes, the thing that Charlotte was referring to is that I was raised, I was always a smart, independent, feisty little kid. And yet I was raised with this thing of, my darling, your dreams are so big, you're going to have to marry a rich man. Because I did have big dreams. I've always had big dreams. And I'm very blessed that my dreams have always come true, but not without some challenges, because I gave in to that narrative at some point, right? And so I did, without consciously doing it, I subconsciously ended up with wealthy men. And they were generous and wonderful, and I'm not blaming them. But the interesting thing was that it drove me crazy because I didn't have power over my own destiny. And I didn't have passion or purpose in my life either. And so it was very, very interesting to be very, very wealthy and to be miserable because you didn't have purpose and you didn't have any passion. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So, that whole thing of your dreams are so big, you're going to have to marry a rich man is just such crap. we end up believing the stuff that we're told over and over and over again, right? Even though that's not who we are. And so we got to tell ourselves a different story and work on changing that narrative.
But you touched a very important point, control. That not only we need to have control of our own destiny, but we cannot afford for somebody else to take control of us.
Yes. Yes. And nothing feels better than loving someone because you want to love them, not because you need them for the roof over your head or the food in your fridge or for your children's well-being or whatever, you know, and that's so important.
So tell me a little bit about faith. Faith and playing a role in achieving your financial freedom.
I'll let you take this one, Charlotte.
Well, that's, you know, a lot of what Jackie and I teach is, you know, our foundation is faith. And, you know, we believe that, you know, your fortune lies in your faith, and believing that there is a bigger purpose for your life. And that if you follow that, you know, if you listen to that divine guidance, that you truly can have anything that you want on this earth. You know, somewhere along the lines, you know, money got a bad rap. You know, it's not just in other cultures, it's in our culture, it's in every culture, that money is the root of all evil. That if you want money, you're greedy. That, you know, people with a lot of money, you know, are not good people. And that's not true.
That's not true.
That is not true.
Correct.
As Jackie said before, it's the story that we give it. You know, we know that when women make good money, that they do a lot of great things in the world. The thing that I learned from doing events around the world with women is that women want to have businesses that make a difference, that impact others, that make this world a better place. What is the greatest way to be able to do that is to be able to have a business that gives that woman the ability to be able to do that and to be able to make the impact that she wants to make in the world and to make that change. We do need to tell ourselves a new story about money. Money is energy. Just like anything else, just like our hands, we can do good things with our hands, we can do bad things with our hands. Money's the same thing. Poor little old money, it got a bad rap somewhere along the lines. But what we know for sure is that women, when you invest in women, when women make good money, that they do really great things in the world. And that's one of the main things that we teach women to do. Now that's having faith, you know, and trusting in the process of what you're called to do, having that divine guidance. And not having to figure out how it's going to happen for you, because that's what we try to do as women, is try to figure out how this is all going to happen for us, as opposed to letting go of how that's going to happen. As the great Martin Luther King said, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the entire staircase, just take the first step. So when I started One Woman, I didn't know how it was all going to play out, that it was going to become a massive success, that it would connect a million women around the world. I just followed my heart, what God planted in my heart as to what I was supposed to do first. What was that first right step? You know, it brings us here today, you know, it brings me right around the world. It connects women. I watch magic happen, but it's trusting in that. And a lot of us are trying to be everything and figure it out for ourselves. We're moms, we're entrepreneurs. We also have jobs. We wear many hats, and we're always trying to figure out how we're all going to figure this out, as opposed to letting go, you know, having big goals and dreams, daring to ask the universe for it, whatever it is that you believe, you know, divine guidance, God, source, light, universe, whatever it is that you believe, but trusting in that you can have whatever it is that you want. You want to make $1 million? You want to be able to help others? You want to be able to cut a check to your favorite charity? You want to have a second home in the Caribbean? You want to fly first class around the world? You want to send your kid to whatever your school that they want to go to, whatever university or college? You want to be able to bless your parents and buy them their house? Whatever it is, you can have it all. You can have it all.
You can definitely have it all, because a
Trusting in
man,
that faith piece for sure.
a man is not a financial plan.
No.
That's for certain. But
No,
before
I'm
we go
45
into,
and single. I didn't buy into that plan.
before we go into our next subject, talking about faith, then I'm going to keep on dreaming, because you have met two of my heroes. So I'm going to keep on dreaming so I can meet them, Oprah and Malala.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Keep on dreaming. So let
That's
me
true.
tell you,
Hey, Gladys, can I just add one thing about the faith piece? It's not only, as Charlotte said, it's not only faith in divine guidance and all of that, but it's very much faith and belief in ourselves.
oh,
Right.
correct.
And this is a huge part for Charlotte and I with coaching women in 100 Most Powerful Women, is when they don't believe in themselves, we believe in them. And it's, that's the thing is it's really getting people to believe in themselves and believing in their abilities and believing in their own magic. And that's something we're really good at. And that's super important. If you don't believe in yourself, no one's going to believe in what you're selling in the world. So,
That's how
that's
we
another
start.
faith piece.
That's how we start. We need to empower our women that we can do it.
Yep.
That it doesn't matter how high the mountain is, we can do it step at a step.
That's it.
So tell me before our time is over, what are some goal settings some tips, some goal settings that women can implement themselves so they can reach the goal that they want, or at least that they can start their path towards being independently financially independent.
Yeah. So with goals, I think there's two things that we teach about goals. The first thing is that your goal needs to excite you, because why would you even strive and take any action if it didn't excite you enough? So it does have to thrill and excite you and kind of make you a little nervous. And if you know how to make it happen, most likely it's a little too small. So we really do encourage people to set a goal that kind of thrills them. But the second super important piece to that is that they must believe that it's possible. Because again, you will not do anything towards your goal if you don't believe it's possible. So those two things are really, really important when it comes to setting a goal. We do believe in being very clear, in having a financial goal every month, a financial goal for the year. And again, make it so that it excites you and that you've got to strive to reach it, but make sure you believe it's possible. And if you do those two things and you focus on it every morning by putting a little goal card by your bed, and you look at it every day going, I believe it's possible, this is what's going to happen this month, and you don't give up and you take all the action you know to take, follow that divine guidance, that's when every month after month after month, you will amaze yourself by reaching goals that you previously thought were impossible.
Yeah, and I'll add to that in terms of it's all about taking those inspired actions and just figuring out what the first right step is. We get so overwhelmed as to, everything that we would need to be able to make that possible, as opposed to just looking at, hey, what can I do today to take one step closer towards my goals, to take one step closer towards my dreams? Who do I need to reach out to? Who do I need to contact? Do you need a coach to help you get there? We are not meant to do this alone. That's why Jackie and I started 100 Most Powerful Women, is to be able to walk alongside women to be able to figure out what that first right step is and what that next right step is. And so everything that you need is already inside you. As Jackie had mentioned, it's that belief in yourself and knowing that everything that you want, all that you want to be, all that you want to become, you already are. Your job is to give it permission.
To start and just do it. There is a quote by Coco Chanel that every girl should be two things: who and what she wants. And I believe that in order to be that, first they need to believe in themselves, like you said, and then the path towards independence. And how do we get towards independence? By creating a financial path. I know that for all of us, it's the same thing. It's just making it happen. But I know that you have a workshop on Friday, right?
Yeah, so this coming Friday, we're doing Pivot Your Passion into Profit. And that's all about, looking at what your gifts are, what your goals are, what your dreams are, and how you can turn that into the life of your dreams, a profitable business, whatever it is that you want in your life. That's what this workshop's all about this Friday. It's a free workshop with Jackie and I. You're spending an hour and a half with us, really dreaming big. and figuring out and getting some clarity as to what you want in your life and what that first right step might be.
So for all the women out there, and yes, man, you can go too. Where can they register?
So the link is on the One Woman website. I will post it in the comments below. So it's onewoman.ca/academy/pivot your passion into profit. But if you go under onewoman.ca, click on the Academy tab, you'll see it on there that you can register. Like I said, it's free to register, and it's happening at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Friday.
Okay, so before we go, any last advice to the next generation of women, the girls that think, for example, I got a job in a bank, I'm making good money, why do I need to continue into college when I'm going to have debt, when now I'm doing really good? How do you get them to see the big picture?
Well, is that the life of your dreams? Because if that is the life of their dreams, who are we to question that? You know, everybody has a dream for their life and what that looks like, and it's different for every single human being on this earth. At the end of the day, do you feel joy? Do you feel excited about your life? Do you feel fulfilled? You know, those are the things that's most important. We have but this one but precious life. How do you want to live it? Because you can have anything that you want. So at the end of the day, it's being at peace with who you are, with what you do, how you do it. If that's what excites you, if that's what makes you happy, then go for it. Don't let anything ever get in your way. That's what I have to say about that.
Absolutely. And I would add, you know, what you mentioned about the quote by Coco Chanel, Gladys, you know, who and what you are. I think that the biggest thing is that we don't take time to discover who we are. And from a young age, if we can instill in young boys and young girls to really be who they are and to own it and to not be consistently swayed by society's like narrative and opinions and the opinions of others and being afraid of being judged by others. So many successful people have been radically judged, but they've gone ahead and done it anyway. And they're the ones who are laughing all the way to the bank, and they're the ones who are happy. So are you being true to who you really are? If you're a spirited person, are you being that? Or are you being dulled by a job that's just kind of, you know, day to day, paycheck to paycheck? So I think it really goes to delving into who you are, experimenting with life. When you're curious about something, go and delve a little bit deeper and follow that curiosity. See where it leads. Don't cut yourself off. Allow yourself to be curious and follow that curiosity, because it may lead you to discovering who you truly are, and that may lead you to your absolute purpose in life, which will also probably make you rich.
You're totally right, but you also touched on one thing. It's not only society that is raising up these kids, it's also the environment of their family and holding them back. So this is where they need to really know who they really are and what they want. But
Absolutely.
there comes into play the whole culture and the whole upbringing of where they're really upbringing. How do I get my chains off?
Yes, and I think that's why it's you know, beholden to those of us who do this work to try to reach more and more people, to try to just open their minds to the possibility. Because when people see what's possible and when they see other people live their dreams, that starts to impact them in a positive way. So I think that, you know, we've all got some work to do in this world. And if we can all just reach a couple more people every day with that message that anything is possible, no matter what your situation, we are doing a good job in the world. So I think it's really, you know, it behooves us to get out there and reach more and more people and show kids what's possible, despite where they've grown up and how they've grown up.
Ladies, any last words? We're almost in our time.
I think we covered a lot of ground today, Gladys. We sure did talk. We talked fast in 30 minutes.
And we're going to impact the world because, yes, creating awareness is what it's all about. So yes. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for being with me. Continue doing this amazing work. And I know that our paths are going to continue to cross. And to everyone, thank you. Until next week. And above all, stay safe.
Bye, Gladys. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.